Man, it was a very hot day today, by the way.
I was inside, air-conditioned house all day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Until I had to walk the dogs, and that was brutal. I complained the whole time. I was like, why am I here instead of in Colorado where it was like 73 and 40 degrees when I woke up in the morning?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that must have been
amazing.
wonderful.
It was amazing. I sat out on the deck with a blanket just staring out at the, mountains and
That's
trees.
the glory. When we were out in Tahoe and Napa,
Amazing.
it was like 50 degrees when we'd wake up, and they'd give us breakfast,
Very nice.
and we'd have this nice breakfast on the patio.
Did the boys give you breakfast, Paul?
No, they slept in until noon. I woke up. I would wake up at like 6:30, 7 at the latest.
Because it's an hour
Yes.
back, right?
And so I would just be like, do a couple little things, and then I would go sit out on the deck. And
Did you go for a run,
I did not.
a jog?
There were no jogs, no runs. When Shelly was up there with me, we did brisk. Sorry, what do you call it? Like brisk walks.
Sex.
Brisk sex walks.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Interesting. Was I carrying her along
She
the
was
dirt
just-
road?
She was just in
you
front.
were
was sex
mounting her.
A sex walk? How does
Yeah,
that
that's
work
where
out?
she bends over. She's like a
Whoa, we're talking
walk
about my
like a
wife
dinosaur.
here. I'm not
What is
talking
it?
about some weird person in like,
Have you met your wife?
well, very vulgar.
I mean, what is that like dinosaur song? Walk dinosaur.
Oh, the purple.
No, not like that.
Barney.
Not like Barney. I'm talking
About Barney.
It was an 80s 90s song. It was Dinosaur. It's like Dance Like a Dinosaur.
You want to help us out here?
I've heard that song before. Dancing Like a Dinosaur. Yeah, that's an 80s song.
Yeah. Well, the point is that
Huh.
Did they get each other in the butt in that?
Well, what they were
What?
doing, they were
What
like
is
on all fours,
that?
and they were dancing, and they were like just had the button there, and that's
you guys are completely destroying
And envisioning
this wonderful, serene,
Paul going down the
peaceful
street.
Colorado mountain thing. You're like, oh, you had butt sex in the street?
You could probably hear you guys for miles.
Oh my
Well,
gosh!
Echoing.
It's not. Is that the noise you make?
Kind of like a monkey.
God, yeah, with the top of the rock.
God.
What is that noise? I don't know. Yeah, what's happening when that happens?
It's a squeaky toy.
Squeaky.
How we immediately jump into sex noises?
Because you talked about it with your wife up in Colorado, walking with her. Doing
I
it.
said brisk walk,
No. You
and then you were like, "Oh, did you do it in the butt?"
I didn't believe I said that.
Well, something like that.
Doing a
So
butt.
vulgar.
Ow.
Well, Sean's the one who started talking
Anyway.
about dinosaurs. And
Anyway,
stuff
so
like
I would
that.
wake up super early. I got out on the deck. It was literally 42 degrees. 42 degrees. Imagine that. And I'm
Did you
sitting
pop a
there-
beer?
I'm sitting there with the blanket. No, I waited till 8:15 before I popped my first beer.
That's 9:15 our time. So you're
Yeah, exactly. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, or 9:15 somewhere.
So did you invest like in a 5-foot bong, 5-foot water bong out there in Colorado?
No, did not.
Yeah, we wouldn't drink in at 10 a.m. in Napa because that was noon our time.
That was so weird. When we were in L.A. in a sports bar
I have a
watching
difficult time
football,
doing that.
same type of deal. They opened at 10 a.m. for the football game.
Right.
And the thought of having a beer at 10 a.m. was wonderful.
Yeah, so it's like, it's 12 o'clock where I'm used to.
I was like, I don't need to feel guilty.
Yeah.
Let's do
I
this
have a
earlier
very
and
difficult
earlier
time
and
doing that.
earlier.
Right.
Anyway, and I would watch the hummingbirds attack the the feeder.
Oh,
It attacked it.
yeah.
Oh, I tell you what. Did you know? I read up. I
Bum,
read up.
bum, bum.
Are
I
they
read
highly
up on-
violent?
No, well, actually, one is, but they
Oh, you have them named.
they have the memory of like elephants.
I doubt that.
No, they do. I read it, and they said they come back to the same place every year as part of their migration, and they
A lot
are.
of birds
And
do
if
that.
you have a feeder up,
Yeah, a pigeon does.
if you have a feeder, they are looking for that feeder. Like even though, like we'll go a year or 2 years. Like I mean, what the hell?
Right.
And then I put it up there, and I shit you not, within 15 minutes of when I very first put it up there, the first time.
You like 100?
Well, you
No,
know,
no,
animals are.
I've never seen more than 3, and there's one, a male, that chases off everybody. He's a dick. And it's the same male every year, I shit you not.
Do you mark them? Do you have them tagged?
Get them tagged.
They have very distinct colors, yes. I have pictures I can show you.
Wow.
Anyway, so
Was the
do you-
pink,
do you
was
wanna
the
get
pink
some-
rocket shooting out?
Maybe some chloroform. Put them out, and so you can tag them.
Yes.
pink rocket?
You should.
I don't think hummingbirds have pink rockets. I wasn't watching hummingbird porn
little
either.
tranquilizer gun.
I just, Jeff, I need to understand where this comes from.
You go all native and
the
have
need
like
to inject
little tube and the
some sort of porn aspect.
the needle
to
and
every animal.
Sean texted that to me. He wanted me to say it.
what is
Anyway, it's fascinating.
It happens.
The hummingbirds were fun. I mean, when you have nothing to do, like
Well, those are neat. You don't see those everywhere.
Are you sure you didn't accidentally eat an edible or something?
oh, no, why would I?
Enamored into the moment.
I did not.
Now, I'm not saying you partook on purpose. But sometimes.
Oh,
things-
like well, yeah. When
Like
you go
eating
to
a cookie.
well, that's the thing. When you're in Colorado, there's edibles just laying around, and it's kind of like accidental fentanyl exposure.
Oh, was it?
You just kind of walk along, and an edible squishes between your toes, and it's like, oh shit, what was that? Oh,
When it gets absorbed.
yeah. I mean, because Colorado, it's everywhere. You guys knew that, right? It's literally everywhere. You can't. You
Everywhere.
can't
Kinda like
not-
Candyland?
You cannot not be high in Colorado.
The chocolate factory was.
Where she falls in the river.
Yeah, they got the can. Well, just the whole chocolate factory. Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. They got this
Right.
just laced candy everywhere. It could be like that. It's these laced edibles everywhere.
Maybe. I don't know.
I always thought that movie was
la,
a
la,
creepy
la.
movie.
Oh, so creepy. I remember when they roll in the girl that's all in a
The blueberry.
Ah.
Oompa-doo-doo.
God, it's awful.
Yeah, the kid fell into the chocolate river and got sucked up the tube.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's like,
and he was a fat kid, wasn't he?
Yeah.
kind of got stuck.
A German kid.
And that was who was the creepy actor in the first one? Gene
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. He was great.
Oh, the very entrance where he comes out all kind of like old and shit, and all of a sudden falls into this little somersault and springs up and is like, "Hey, how you doing?"
In the original one?
And the very original one.
Yeah, he does.
It was really cool. It's like the introduction. You're like, "Wow, this is gonna be kind of cool."
He was so unique.
Yeah. Well, he was in several movies. I mean, the most crazy movie that nobody wants to remember, especially woke folk, is the that Western movie he made.
Oh, you're not talking about Blazing Saddles.
Yes, I am talking about.
Yes,
Blazing
Oh,
Saddles.
he
Yeah.
was in that?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was the cowboy.
What else is he in? I mean,
He was
just-
in Lady in Red with, at the time, a knockout.
Look at those dashing blue eyes.
Kelly the Brock.
dashing, I tell you.
He was in Lady in Red. Why don't you pull that picture up, Lady in Red?
I don't think I watched that.
Did they have Chris?
Kelly the Brock. That was a weird science girl, right?
Yeah, she was in this. She was,
She was an attractive woman.
highly.
Damn.
Thanks for
just let it out there.
Yeah, thanks for kind of elaborating further.
I think she
Do you
does.
need a moment?
I think she does full frontal in this movie too.
She was attractive. Oh my God, yes, she was. You kind of gushed all over that.
Yeah,
Lady Red.
Dennis DeBerg.
Yeah, it was Christopher.
Wrong.
Christopher.
Well, his brother. They both sang together
No, they
interchangeably.
He was also
Dennis.
Dennis
Yes, my
DeBerg.
brother wasn't there that day.
That was Styx. Dennis DeYoung.
DeYoung. He was also in.
Not DeBerg, DeYoung. God, what is wrong with me?
I don't know. You're wrong.
D something.
Gene Wilder was also in Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, Stir Crazy. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I remember those movies.
And,
That's sad.
and another one that I never saw. I've seen bits and pieces of it was Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's
whole thing.
considered a classic comedy movie. I've never seen the whole thing though.
It
That's
was
a good one.
old spoof stuff.
Oh, I
mean,
watched
just
that one.
classic.
I just
It
remember.
was funny.
I just remember Igor going, "Walk this way."
Yes.
Okay, no, this way. And he's like all hunched over.
Yes. And his hunch moves from
Yes.
shoulder to shoulder. Oh, it's a total spoof. And they're like
Yes.
going into the castle, and he goes, you hear howling in the background, and he goes, werewolf, werewolf, their wolf.
I may have to watch it. Like I said, I've never watched the whole thing. I've seen bits and
So
pieces
dumb.
of it though. But Terry Garr was in that.
Oh, she's cute.
And which one?
Young Frankenstein.
Wow.
Yeah.
The whole Frankenstein phenomenon, period. I mean, just the old movie itself, Frankenstein, not the comedy. Just
With Boris Karloff.
it's alive, it's alive.
And that just doesn't seem to go away. They've made so many movies.
I think Boris Karloff was the most famous Frankenstein.
Yeah, but that's
Back in
back
I'm
the
not sure I
during,
remember that one.
during
Well, he's
that,
the original, like 30s and 40s Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
The Boris Karloff.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I used to watch all those movies.
before we venture too far out, it's July 7th, 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, enjoy those free slushies from, hey, thank you. Have a coming in. Have a slushie. 7-Eleven. Dudes
Thank
like
you.
us. I'm
Thank you.
Sean.
I'm Paul.
Cut you off guard there.
I'm Jeff.
Thanks again. Come
I
again.
was thinking about The Simpsons and how he can't do that anymore.
Well,
the guy that does
also
that voice.
Joe
We
Biden.
can.
Joe Biden says you can't be in 7-Eleven without hearing an Indian accent.
Yeah, well, that
You
was...
said that? Biden
yes,
said that?
on the news.
Are you kidding me?
That's super offensive.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was
he
back
said
in the
that.
80s.
What a
though.
racist
Not that
pig.
it's any different. I mean, he still said it. I mean, some of the shit he said.
They just let him get away with it. Can you imagine if Trump said that? Oh, God, here we
my
go
God.
again. Dang it. We got to stay off of that.
But you know what? Look, we're not going to dive into it. But it's just
It's aggravating.
it is very
The double,
frustrating.
what do you call it? The
dong.
double, the double dong.
Ooh, double standard.
Oh, well, that same thing. Double dong, double standard.
Well, we're tasting this bourbon here, and it's a remake. It's is it Sin Wagon? No,
No, that's a
Smoke Wagon.
That's
That's
a
a
Dixie chick.
Dixie Chicks.
That's a Dixie Chick song. I love the
That's a good song.
No, this is this
Sin Wagon.
is a revisit. Smoke Wagon, uncut and unfiltered.
We didn't talk about the bourbon from last week.
Well, let's
from
cover
last
this
week.
one since we have it up.
Smoke
All right, so we'll do this
Wagon.
one first. So this is our bourbon segment here.
So this is made in Vegas,
It's
Oh.
very, very good.
and I learned because when I was in Vegas, I wanted to go visit the distillery. Well, Nevada does not allow you to tour
Really
distilleries.
interesting.
Oh, they don't allow you to visit them?
Correct.
Why?
Some state law. Some stupid, but there were a lot of prostitution back then. They were
Yeah. So I can go to the Bunny Ranch,
Yes.
but I can't go to the Smoke Wagon.
I wouldn't recommend you go to the
Distillery.
Bunny Ranch. They got a lot of video cameras there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, what was the basketball player that got caught in there?
All of them.
Dwayne? No, he was.
No, the super tall, the guy that was on the reality show,
No, he played for the
Kim Kardashian or
he
whatever.
played for the Mavericks for a while, and he went to a coma because he took drugs. Remember that? And they found him at the Bunny Ranch, didn't they? They had to rush him to the
wasn't he-
hospital.
He was married to Khloe Kardashian or something like that.
One of those. Who knows?
I don't
Anyway,
even care.
He played for the Lakers. Lamar Odom.
correct.
Yeah.
Bam! I nailed it.
Anyway, this is uncut and unfiltered. It's a Pube under 116 proof.
A pube.
115.78.
Well, with your pubes, that's a pretty big one because you don't have pubes.
Thick.
You have stalks.
It's very coarse.
So you're saying then
If your pubes are like your nose hairs,
20
branches.
22nd hundredths
Yes.
of a
pube,
an inch.
Pube is a form of measurement.
in what country?
In the dudes like us
It's
world.
Yeah,
God.
it's the imperial measurement.
It's a new one.
But this is really, really good. Why
in
don't you
the,
scroll down and see if we can't pick up some of the...
DLU state.
Yes. We always like
Yeah.
reading some of these noses, palates, and stuff, just the ridiculousess of some of the stuff they...
All right. Well, let's first.
fine.
I'm going to take this in because I've had a couple sips, but I haven't really taken it. So now we've got a Glencairn glass, guys, and Paul was a little overzealous on the pour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guilty as charged. Oh, it's
The
so
key
good.
is to aerate it, swish it. It went down the...
Oh. Do we have a virgin with us here
I think
tonight?
so.
What is
It got
happening?
stuck on his hymen. It
I
burned
tasted it.
Wow.
I tasted it. It's in everything.
Do you need some water, sir? Your
Uh-huh.
eyes are watering.
It's up your nose.
Everything.
We had a podcast I listened to
It's
not
sweet
long
too,
ago
though.
where I got bourbon of this proof up my nose.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I remember
it
that.
burned the back of my eyeballs. So if that has happened to you here,
No, it was all right.
Not-
It was in the front. And
won't enjoy it.
so that, but you know what? It was painful when it happened 30 seconds ago. But now it's
but
like
your
really.
your eyes are still watering.
Yeah, it's sweet though. It really is. It's got a sweet. It's not very. It's not loud. It doesn't have a lot. It's not hot. It doesn't taste hot for being
No.
what it is, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, it's 116.
160.
Basically 120, yeah.
Jump out. Well, ours may be a little bit different. Ours on the screen there. It says,
Mr. Producer, what does it say on the bottle over
It's hard to read, but you can see
there?
it.
Anyway.
He's got young eyes. He can show
I know, young eyes.
It says the palate. It says
15?
a whirlwind of sweet,
25.
fruity, and dark flavors.
59, he said.
So
It says
that's
118.
118.
Okay.
There we go.
We're
Creeping up.
we're mathletes. But there's some sweetness to it. I get it up. It says sweet caramel combined with raspberry, chocolate-covered cherries, leather, and rich oak.
Yeah, you can't have chocolate-covered cherries without leather.
All right, so let's process this, because now with our Jeff and I's new found education on the bourbon process, now we can probably figure out what type of char this is based on this.
Well, this is lots of...
I call bullshit.
I bet it's a 3 or a 4.
Are you going with a 2.8?
Oh, I'm thinking it's a 3. 3.2. 3.2.
Well, because in the palate, I see no cinnamons.
Yeah, it's sweet caramels. Those are typically chocolate and leather, and rich oaks are typically as a result of third-tier charring.
If you guys are trying to rub in the fact that you went to this distillery without me, with all this newfound knowledge and sounding smart, you are actually both failing miserably. I just want to...
We're not trying to rub it in. Look, we had a good time. I mean, it was...
let me go back and replay that in my hearing aids. Well, with our newfound knowledge, Sean, do we want to share what we've... Oh, that was you, Sean, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
No, it was Jeff.
Oh, what's that?
Wow.
Well, we failed to...
Paul doesn't understand this stuff because he wasn't there.
Look, so first of all, Fridays, Total Wine... I'm sorry. Before this, let's finish this up. So the nose, the palate. Obviously, this is a level 3 char. Based on this, I wouldn't think it's more of that, because it'd be more. It could be between a 3 and a 4. I don't even know. Are there variations? I mean, I would think there would be. It'd be kind of hard.
A 3.5.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's not an exact science, right?
Yeah.
When they stick the flaming thing inside the barrel and they kind of torch it,
combined with a wonderful buttery mouthfeel, this assembly creates an enjoyable and memorable sip, albeit a somewhat chaotic one.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with this. It's a lot going on.
So the palate does release all that. I mean, it really does.
There's a lot going on in this one.
Can you go up, Mr. Producer, just a little bit?
And there is some sweetness to it.
So the finish fully transitions to a darker flavor. The profile with leather cigar and dry oak as it focus. These notes linger well after the sip is gone, creating a dry aftertaste. Light cherry undertones can be detected, but unfortunately a bit too muted. So it's saying that the light cherry undertones are detected, but then they go away instantly. Is that what it's saying? But let me try that.
Yeah, a bit too muted, meaning they don't linger, I guess. Yeah.
Light cherry undertones can be detected. Yeah, they're very soft.
Yeah, I can, but they disappear quick.
It's
more of a stone fruit.
You can taste it. Well, cherry is a stone fruit, right?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Jeff sends me a text message. They do exist. I think that was funny, man.
What is it? It was boxes and boxes of stone fruit at Costco.
Was it H-E-B?
It was H-E-B. What was in the boxes?
I didn't even look. It was
stuff?
I just saw stone fruit listed like 30 times. I was like,
yeah, no, we enjoyed that.
Yes.
All right. So the uniqueness of the smoke wagon was quick to gain the fanfare of a lot of bourbon drinkers in a relatively short amount of time. Maybe it had to do with their rough and tumble image, or their unlikely origin of Nevada, or their bottle design name speaks to a modern bourbon drinker. I don't really like the bottle design. I look at it and it's difficult to read. It's dark,
but it is unique.
It's brown glass. It's amber glass.
Yeah.
I guess you want to call it. Right?
I think it's cool.
Well, it is cool, but it's still difficult to read.
It is for old people. But luckily, young people drink this, don't they?
You son of a
so they don't distill their stuff. So this is non-distilled producer. So we probably need to look at the.
So they just finish it.
Well, it could be MGP. It could be Heaven's Hill. It could be Dickel. We'd have to look at the bottle to see where it's distilled from.
So once again, it is Smoke Wagon, right?
Yeah, Smoke Wagon, uncut and unfiltered.
Okay,
very good. It's about $80 a bottle, so it's not the cheap one.
Not cheap,
but it's good.
Yeah, it's a good one to have on your shelf. And you know what?
I think it's excellent.
It's a great sipping bourbon. It doesn't require a cube or ice, and frankly, it doesn't. In my opinion,
it doesn't.
You know,
it certainly wouldn't hurt to have it on over a cube.
A cube, yeah.
You know, I've been experimenting at nights with drinking bourbons at my house, because I don't want to have like a full glass of bourbon and drink it, and
right.
I definitely don't want to pour another one.
Right.
So I've been pouring bourbon and drinking it neat, and just taking like every 5-10 minutes just pulling a sip.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. And I find that, well, first of all, I don't get fucked up.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah, because the idea is you're enjoying the bourbon. You're not
Yes.
you're not drinking
Yeah,
to
you're
get
not
fucked
drinking.
up.
That's the difference between kind of where we're at in our life and where our boys are at.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm getting fucked up.
What's the point of drinking if you're not going to get drunk, Dad?
Yes.
But
I'm
I,
like, oh
I will,
my God.
I will tell you that I have thoroughly enjoyed that Yellow Rose 10th anniversary.
I wouldn't know. I've never had it.
I had it.
What?
No.
You were over at the house. You had opportunity.
No, he wasn't there.
No.
No. I meant
Remember, you were like, "Hey, should we invite Jeff?" And I was like,
that's not
I was
what's
like,
happening. That didn't go
I was
out like
I was
that.
like, I think we should. I mean, we
He
owe
was
it
out
to
of fucking town.
we owe it to him, and you were like, "No, fuck that." And I
That's
said,
not
"Dude,
the way
I
that
thought
went
he-
down.
I said, "He's really important to us," and you said, "Bitch, please." Remember all that?
Oh
You
my
don't
god!
remember
I
any of
remember
that?
saying "bitch, please," but I don't think it was in that.
We'll save a little bit because I do want to taste it.
Oh, I've got about a half a bottle. Well, Wes came over, and he didn't have any respect for it.
He was just like, glug, glug, glug,
That's
glug.
why. That's
Oh no,
why
he
you
did.
have
He
a.
did not like it.
No.
That's why you have a bottle of something to pull out when.
Well, okay,
folks
but
come over.
what he did, he came over and said, "Try this," and he poured a shot, poured another shot, poured another shot. I was like, "Dude, do you realize that's like 117 proof? You need to dial it back." And the next thing you know,
He's fucked.
Face down.
I get a
You put him on a dolly. and wheeled him home.
I get a picture from Desiree
Oh my God.
with him asleep on the couch in his sit up position. First of all, dudes like us out there, how many of you motherfuckers can sleep sitting up with his? He sits up. He's like in the sitting position, and his elbows are on his knees, and he just sits there and he falls asleep with his head down. I've never seen that ever.
Well, I think if the three of us did 3 shots of Yellow Rose within like
No.
3 minutes,
I don't know. Maybe
I'd be sleeping in any position I could think of, right? So I mean,
the dinosaur.
the dinosaur position,
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
One of the things.
the sun bleaching.
One of the things that
Anal bleaching.
I've
Anal
heard
bleaching.
that what you do is you get like one of the
I think
bottles,
that's healthy
the
for you.
decanter or whatever.
Mhm.
Just a plain bottle that you buy. You could put your whiskey in, and you put a decent bourbon in there, but like early times or foolproof or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't put your high dollar shit. in
Something
there.
that doesn't break.
So
the
when
bank,
someone
yeah.
comes over, it's good. And
Oh,
you
they
put
look
the
at it like,
bourbon
"Oh, what is that? That must
Yes.
be really nice."
in, and you're
And
like,
it's like early times. In fact, I just gave.
and you can tell them whatever it is. Oh, that's Blanton's. You can have all you want.
Oh, so you just tell them
Sure, that are they going to know?
that's fantastic.
do they
This
have
is-
they have
this
a
is-
taste for that?
200-year Calumet. 200. You're damn right. 200 years.
It tastes like a tree.
The last time somebody drank this,
Yeah,
they
it
were
would
signing
be.
the fucking Declaration of Independence.
Declarations.
Declaration.
In fact, they use the pens to sign the declarations.
Yeah.
They used the pens. The actual wood from the pens were staves used in the Calumet.
Well, you
And
get
I have a
you
wig
get a
that
really
they wore.
good, inexpensive one. Granddad 114, early times, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And
Yeah, I
foolproof.
agree. I had a bottle of the Bottle and Bond early times at the house, and Desiree came over in a, I don't want to say drunken stupor, but she came over. She was kind of like, "We need something to drink. We ran out." And I was like,
What?
and I was playing a video game, and I was like, "What?" And then she's like, "I was like, go get something." And then my inner monologue's like, "Dude." And so I was like, "Whoa!" I took the headphones off.
You're like, wait a second. They may find that.
Yeah, so I went back there. I was like, let me. I went in there and I grabbed. I was like, I took a quick look, and I was like, oh, the early times. There you go.
Right.
That's gonna work. That's solid. It's solid.
They're in the shitty cabinet. Well, I'm fine.
Well, no, early times is good shit, but it's
Early Times is good.
it's
$20.
Yeah, $24 or whatever it is, and it's good. And,
It's solid. It's dependable.
yeah, and you get a liter of it.
I know. And
Yeah.
then Rare Breed.
Rare Breed's about $55 though.
Yeah,
I know.
it's gone up in price. It just keeps creeping
Yeah.
up there, man. But
So good, though.
but it is good. Rare Breed by Turkey is
and
good.
It's
Is Early Times by Turkey as well?
No,
Who makes early? I think they're their own shit.
Sazerac. I think Brown Foreman makes early times now. They just sold it. I think Sazerac owned it, and then they
what
sold
kind
it.
of
to
name
Brown
is
Foreman.
Sazerac? Is that
I
like
don't know.
European? It's just
Sounds
a weird
more
name.
like Middle Eastern.
East Angolan.
I know. It's just strange.
Are we saying Middle Eastern names?
Whenever
are
I hear
strange?
just whenever I hear that name, it doesn't sound like a bourbon distiller. You know what I mean?
It's more like a seltzer.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Hey, what are you drinking over there? I'm drinking
Drinking
some
some
Sazerac.
Sazerac.
Well, with
Right.
raspberries.
Yeah,
Some
It's
Saz-
actually the name of a drink as well, Sazerac.
It's just a strange. I would be curious what the origin of that is.
So is Zephyr.
Yes. It's an elixir. John's inner nerd just erupted while we were at
let's
Total Wine.
Let's walk through the Total Wine experience.
Yeah,
so
bad.
we go to the Total Wine thing, and we do our thing. And Chuck's with us, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, God bless it. Was it just Chuck? Yeah, it was just Chuck. So Chuck, us three, and we go through there, and we go over to the back area. So we talked to Jody. I don't think she was there at first. So I think we passed Jody.
We passed her.
And then we went over to the next station, which wasn't where the dark tequila is.
Okay.
Which is the middle one right before you get to the bourbon.
Yes.
But it's the main tasting desk area.
Yeah, we got a little section.
Little kiosk.
So we go to this area. This is like very attractive 30s lady. And, I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just more kind of just like, hey, we got over here. She was like, I got gin. And I was kind of like, ooh.
Yeah,
and,
like
everything
so
puckered.
much. Everything puckered on that one.
However, we sampled it because I was kind of like, all right, well, let me try the dark one. Let's see how this goes on. And so he was like, she was like, it's called Zephyr, right?
Zephyr.
Zephyr. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can remember that. That's an elixir on the World of Warcraft game. I'll definitely remember that. World of Warcraft.
Oh, that's an elixir.
Yeah.
It gave me plus 25 mana.
30.
So I want to soak this up. So he's standing in front of a very attractive 30-year-old woman.
Yes.
Losing man points like in
That
the
was bad.
droves.
And Kevin was standing there. We're just like, dude.
We're not with this guy.
Yes.
At all.
Well, that's 30% bonus mana for like 10 minutes or something like that.
And then what'd you do? She goes, oh my God, I would play World of Warcraft too.
No, she was
she
like,
didn't say any of that.
You would have loved that.
No,
she
but
went through that.
I don't care, man. It was funny. Even Kevin, he was kind of like, he was standing behind us, and he just wants to like, he's just waiting for something stupid to come out of my mouth or any one of our mouths. Mostly my mouth.
And then like 5 minutes later, we had one less follower on our channel.
correct.
No, but it's just funny because I said, it's an elixir on World of Warcraft, and you hear Kevin, he's walking by, he's like, I can't believe you fucking just said that.
Yeah, it was a big power down at that point.
Yeah. Then we tried the other one. It was even more fruity. I'll tell you what, that
For a gin?
for
It
a
wasn't
gin, that
bad.
was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't super dry. It was kind of fruity and well rounded.
No, would I buy
Yeah.
it? No, because I'm not a gin fan. But
may
that
buy
one
it.
that one did not completely turn me off.
I have not had
She was
gin.
beautiful.
I have
was
not
pretty.
had gin since I hurled my Whataburger back in 1990?
Yeah, I've never been a fan of gin.
91 maybe?
I think of gin as
Ugh, it
an
was
extremely
awful.
old person
100%.
drink.
Kind of like a British person. I'm gonna have
Yes.
some tea and
Like a gin and tonic.
Yeah, I would make my grandmother highballs.
A beef eater.
Yep, and it
Yeah.
was gin, it was vermouth, it was something else too. But she told me exactly how to make it, and she would be sitting there drinking them, and she'd put her glass on her head when she needed another one. I'd hurry over there, and I'd make it for her.
Oh, Paul, this is great.
Okay, no.
Can you make me another one? And this time, put a little bit more beef eaters in
No,
it.
it wasn't like that.
Does
He's
she
like-
have the onions
He's
in
like,
there?
"Wait,
or-
stand over there, you little shit. Make me a drink."
Ooh, the onions and the. Did you make it a dirty martini?
I bet he did.
God,
Yeah.
I just made it the way exactly how she wanted me to make it. So,
Olives.
Did you put olives in there or onions?
no onions.
So what is it?
I don't even believe there was an olive in there.
So if you have an onion-based gin drink, what would they call that?
An onion-based
Shitty.
gin drink.
A Gibson, I think.
I have no idea.
I was going with shitty.
Actually, it's pretty good. Those little onions are very
I
tasty.
can't-
Well, the little pearl
I-
onions. Well, the
Oh,
onions
yeah,
are one
wonderful.
thing,
I
but
can't do gin. I
I could
can't.
do a vodka
I enjoy
martini. I don't think I could do a gin.
I enjoy gin. I tell you what, if you start drinking gin and tonics with lime, and you have a tall glass, you do gin and tonic with lime, and it's a hot fucking day, and you can drink a glass of gin and tonic with lime. Way easier than you think you can. And the next thing you know, and I will say this from Mark's experience. Remember Mark, our
Oh,
friend? I don't know if Mark listens to the podcast, but if he does, I will share with you Mark's experience because I had left. We were in the garage. We were doing some fiddling around, and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to make a drink. You want one?" I was like, "No, I got to go." And he calls me up about an hour later and says, "Hey, man, I got lost He drank his drink and made another drink and got so fucked up he walked down the alley and got lost in his own neighborhood. He said, I forgot where the fuck I was at. I had no idea. I ended up walking like a mile around maybe half a mile around the whole neighborhood trying to get back to my house.
Paul knows how that
Who
feels.
does that? Who gets lost walking home?
Paul can relate.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Then
Paul
like
has
falls in the
Poor
field.
Mark. What a fool. I love
Subscription
him. Can't
to
believe
your,
he did
your
that.
pygmy shaman
Meets
families.
pygmies.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We have pictures.
Yeah,
Thank
you and
God.
your freaking
Thank
jeans.
God you do not. I felt it was like Gulliver's Travels. I woke up and there was like strings all over me and little people crawling all over me and shit. And I was like, my wife left me. It's her fault.
She did leave you.
She did, and she didn't like hesitate at all. I was like, I don't even know what I was upset about.
That was my 50th birthday.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like,
my God.
I was like, I was
That's
like, well,
right.
I'll just walk home. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, she just left. Actually,
Jeff
actually, what I said
Jeff
was,
had an indelible smile on him. There's nothing that would change him. He's like, oh, that's cool. He went
And then-
inside.
and I don't remember what you guys. You were like, no, Paul. I was like, I'm fine. I'm
just
fine.
went.
It's just that way, right? Oh my God!
Good
What
grief.
should have been, I think, a 10-minute walk was an hour and 15 minutes. I fell twice. I was like all bloody, walking across barbed wire minefields somewhere.
Then you have like mud everywhere.
Oh, it was a wreck. I was a wreck. My jeans were covered in mud because I had fallen 3 or 4 times.
Well, so first of all, we were at Jeff's house from a club.
It was
we
awful.
drove home about a mile and a half to Jeff's house, and then we're going to go to our houses. And your wife leaves you, and you're like, I'm going to walk home. She's like, fine. Try
Yeah.
yourself. You
No
live
hesitation.
about a mile and a half from there, maybe almost 2.
right.
And you, instead of going directly west, which
I went.
would have been
North.
I
appropriate.
went northwest.
You went north.
You went directly north behind the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that was
Did you
north.
find the 7-Eleven?
But when you look, you can see on the Life 360, it is a straight ass line. But it is.
So you cut through neighbors'
Oh
yards
yeah.
and
I
shit?
was,
Did you
yeah,
climb
I was,
over
I
the
was going
fence?
through. Yeah, no, I didn't climb over any fences. I wasn't that drunk. But I was walking through alleyways, right, and like lights were turning on, like the motion detector lights and shit.
Right.
So I'm sure I was that creepy guy on the rings.
Stumbling.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? Oh
And
my
I
God.
was like, "Do you have any gin?"
I checking like my truck doors to see if they're open.
Oh God, it was awful.
So
It was so bad.
that after I shared with the distributor female chick that there was an elixir that she was serving, we ended up we were heading our way to the God bless him furniture store, and Jeff's like, "Hey man, maybe we ought to try a place called the Owl." And I was like, "Huh."
Oh,
Yes.
let's
I
try
have
a
no
new
idea
place.
what you're talking about.
Paul's not here. Why don't we do something fun?
I think he prefaced
Something
it
fun
with
and
that.
different.
I think that's exactly what he said. You know
Yeah.
what? I feel an air of change happening right now. I think let's just run
Yeah.
with it. Let's run with it.
And then
And
of
Chuck
course-
was like, I know exactly what to do because I'm the dudes without Paul kind of night. He called himself the alternate. You
Right.
didn't have a problem with him
called
when
himself
when
Dark-
Jeff was
Wow.
gone.
D'Artagnan.
Wow.
Like fourth
He called
musketeer.
himself the D'Artagnan, the
Who did?
fourth musketeer.
What? Hold on. The what? He called himself the what?
D'Artagnan, the fourth musketeer.
Ah, okay. All right. I
Yeah.
was not familiar with that.
AKA the alternate for the Dudes Like Us podcast. But
That's
anyway, so
funny.
we ended up going to the Owl, and
I have not heard of that place.
Well, we were.
It's brand new. It's been open a month, maybe 2 months.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's kind of cool. It's got a lot of doughy kind of based appetizers and food there, but it was a
It was all
win
good.
for me.
But
the
didn't it
pretzels
have-
were outstanding.
But didn't it have an excellent bourbon?
Yeah, it
list?
had some.
That's what you sent in the picture. I thought it was a really good bourbon
I
list.
Yeah.
sent you a
Or
list.
was that somewhere else?
No, that was there. It has about 50 bourbons, maybe.
And is that where they
core of
made
what
the
we have?
mistake on the 10-year McKenna?
Yes,
Yeah,
And
well,
there was
they
like
claimed
$5
to.
10-year
5
McKenna.
year.
Yeah, we didn't notice that till later because if we know, if us, we would have seen that at first, because we were kind of like $5. I was like, McKenna.
It's got to be the brown.
And I went up there. Oh, it's
Gotta
got to
be.
be the brown. But I went up there. There was no brown. I was
Well, I
like,
saw the 10 year, and I was like,
Surely.
They-
You're like,
surely they
surely they're
can't
not
be the
giving us
same.
$5 10-year Henry McKenna.
right.
And they were.
And you went up and asked.
I did.
You idiot.
Well, he would have known the very first pour because he was the general manager, the bartender. And when I went up there, he was like, "That's a typo." He turned around, looked at the 10-year bottle, saw the $5, was like, "That's a typo." And the girl at the computer, she was like, And she was like, no, it says $5 right here. It's like, that's a typo too. And I was like,
And you're like, we'll have 50 more.
yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
As a matter of fact, we'll buy the fucking bottle.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we ended up having one. In
Well,
fact,
he said they'd honor it for the night.
yeah. Well, they said
what?
they would honor it for the night.
They would honor it for the night.
It's like,
For
hey,
the whole
look, it's
night, they
there.
said they would do that?
They would, yeah, but we only had one more.
Oh, you idiots.
Well, I mean, they ended up buying us around because we moved from one table to the other.
Yeah, they wanted to combine our because we had a big table.
Yeah.
And then they had a big party. They asked, "Hey, any chance you could move over to the fourth?
We'll buy you a round of drinks. And I was like trying to negotiate. I was like, well, technically a round was a beer and a shot. So does that mean we got 6 drinks coming to you?
He's like, "No, one drink each."
He's like, what an asshole.
Oh, I'll have a gallon of bourbon. That's my
A
drink.
triple 10-year McKenna.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have that one. So we ended up there at the Owl, and it was.
So you would recommend it then?
I do
Yeah,
recommend going
I
there.
would.
They're going to start a karaoke up there on Thursday, Friday nights ish, and I recommended Johnny Dubiel, the karaoke master of the Metroplex, to head over there. I don't even know if I didn't even share that with him. I probably need to call him. He probably needs to go up there, but whatever. Side note. Anyways, our waitress was kind of cool.
But Living Spaces has $2 beers.
Well, we totally sidestepped that. In fact, speaking of living spaces, our bartender, Sean, completely missed out tonight.
Yeah.
He had texted me several times today,
Oh, that's
and
right.
he was like,
supposed to be on the
hey,
podcast.
can I come on the podcast? And I was like, well, yeah, sure, let's go. I talked to Jeff, and I was like, what do you think? And Jeff's like, I don't care. That's fine. We can go. So
I don't recall you asking me. That's weird.
you were unavailable.
Huh. Strange.
Mm.
I thought we make all decisions together.
You were, again, unavailable.
I see a trend happening here.
It carried on to the next day when we decided to wake up and we were talking about, let's go to 1845. Yeah! Hold on a second. I get a phone call and it's Scott, our ex-guest on here. And Scott was like,
Super cool guy.
hey, what are you guys doing? He was like, we're over here at the Owl. He's like, oh. I was like, hey, we're thinking about going to 1845. 1845, I heard of that place. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm
Like,
so bitter.
I was like, well, you know what? He's like, you got to sign up for the thing. And Jeff's like, we can just go to the tasting room.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, well, I guess we can do that too. And so Scott's like, well, hold on. He was on the internet. He was checking real quick. So they got 4 slots available. I was like, book them, all 4. And he booked them.
So
and-
cool. So cool.
Yeah. So
There's
we went
no
out there.
charge. It's a free tour.
Yeah, it looks like you guys had fun.
Oh,
and the samples.
I mean, it was hard to tell. I got, I think, 163 pictures.
You-
And it looked like you had a good time.
Well, it was good. And the samples, you get 4, and they don't charge you for them.
What?
No.
It was free.
We're doing that Saturday, right?
Yeah.
20 times. I signed this up for 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4.
consecutive
And
tastings.
then you can go out and do the same with the wine. And we had I had 7 or 8 different wines.
Yeah. So it was fun. So
That's awesome.
I already signed us up. I blocked 3. I blocked 3 for us at 2 o'clock.
We're gonna have
2
to
o'clock.
Uber.
You don't get that drunk.
Yeah,
No?
we're not going to get fucked up. No, it's fine.
Yeah, you don't.
But
They don't keep reporting.
But afterwards, we went to Tups, I think, right?
yeah, we went to Tubbs.
We went to Tups because we were leaving there. We're like, hey, let's do
What is-
another tour real quick. So we went over to
Tups.
Tups. Is a beer brewery.
brewery.
So we're thinking,
Next door.
it's
kind of on the way back.
15 ways. It's towards McKinney.
Okay.
In McKinney, and we went there and we're like thinking, well, they don't have to do tours today. And then we pull up and then was like, hey, you guys part of the wedding? We're like, no, we're not part of the wedding.
Yes, we are.
Well, there you go. Well, that's my inner monologue. Was like, yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Are you part of the welcoming package?
Ooh.
And you're like, yeah, we've known Don and Sarah, yeah, Bill and Marcia forever.
No, it's Bob and Jen.
But whatever.
Whatever. So we ended up driving around and we parked. We went inside. It's extremely hot in there. It's
Even with the big ass fans, it was still kind of hot.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it just. Well, I mean, it's just moving
hold on.
hot air.
So they let you in even though you weren't part of the wedding party?
No,
They have
they-
a huge bar in there. Is what
Yeah,
they've got.
they've got.
Oh, okay.
The Tups Brewery area. The Tups Brew is a big place. I mean, it's I don't know what the building was. Was it like a bread manufacturing place? They baked a bunch of breads there or something like that. But it's a big warehouse in a big open venue. Then they have another one right next door. All the same property, and they have an open bar that's available for everybody. You can go up there, show up, drink what you want. It's hot as fuck. Sometimes they have live bands there. They had live music they had music playing for a while, but I guess it ran out or something.
They get about 15 beers on tap, maybe.
Yeah, they get a lot. It's all Tups. You
It's
go
all
there
Tup
and
stuff.
you sample all their shit.
Very
and
cool.
yeah, it was all right. I mean, I'm really not into beers as much as when Jeff and I were first hanging out. We were like a beer enthusiast. We're like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys were into all the IPAs and the
shit,
micro
Hardcore
brews
shit,
and
man.
oh man,
the
but-
800 calories.
But for some
beers.
reason, it was good back then. Now it's too much for me now. I don't.
like you don't even like if when you try it, you don't enjoy them.
I don't. My palate is completely changed now.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
it's-
enjoy
it's
them.
Gone
I have a hard time drinking.
because it's gone real man. You have a real man palate now.
Maybe.
Both of you do.
Well, it's also the realization that I put on 15, 20 pounds when I was doing that.
Just by
Just by that.
bar hopping and
No, the craft beer. My
IPAs,
fridge
yeah.
was full
Well,
of this shit.
yeah. I
And
mean,
they're $200,
that was the whole
$400 a
thing, man.
bottle.
We would go and
Yeah.
we'd
Or
buy like.
calories.
I mean, I would buy like the L.A. Boulevard beers, which came in liter bottles, and the L.A. Boulevard puts out quadruple.
So it's like a
ales.
600 calorie bottle.
Oh, at least 10.5% beer. You get like the L.A. Boulevard triplet. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Triplet is kind of like very small bubbles, super strong.
Right.
Anyways, it's just really high octane stuff. So yeah, I don't get into that stuff anymore. So after Tups,
Yeah.
we ended up going to one other place. What was it? I
Damn.
forget.
What a long day you guys
To the
had.
barbecue joint,
Oh, that's right. We went to the barbecue joint.
the butchery.
We went to the.
Well, thank God I hate barbecue. So
Oh, well,
Well, we didn't eat. Actually,
yeah. Well, Scott bought some.
There was a taco.
Yeah, we got a big old brisket taco, which was kind of nice, and a couple beers, and then we went on a tour of
Oh, yes.
Scott's family's property out there, and we were driving around the cows, which is the picture part of the.
Oh,
picture
you're saying you
got.
went to the barbecue shack?
Yes, the barbecue shack.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so we went out there. We went to the gun range out there. We went out by the lake. We were. I mean, it was all just. We shot like 100,000 rounds. It feels like.
For real?
No,
No.
You did not shoot.
No,
on the
we
range.
drove out there.
no, we drove out there, but
A-hole.
I had
we
to
didn't
stick the
shoot
truck. There were
anything.
some sketchy spots. I wasn't quite sure I was going to make it through. There was a because you're out
So you're all like in your truck,
in my truck
driving around.
4-wheel drive.
Had to throw it in the
Ranch.
four-wheel. Had to throw it in the four-wheel drive. Yeah,
Damn.
And there's one
I
section-
hate you guys.
and there's
We'll
one.
do it again.
Yeah, there's one section where there's no road anymore, and you're going up, and all the cows are coming down from
Yeah.
the lake.
Oh,
They're
because
wanting to know
they're
what's
thinking
going
there's
on.
food coming.
Well, no,
Well,
they're
they
like-
see us and
well,
they're like, "You guys are fat. You got food."
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's fences all around. So there's a gate, and the turn is kind of weird. And there's this big,
called a
humongous
90-degree.
roots and all kinds of stuff going straight up this hill, and the cows are coming down. They have baby cows. Here I am in this truck trying to not hit them, and they're scrambling
And Scott's
around.
like, just push through. They'll move. They'll move.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so they're moving.
You have like ranch experience right here.
Oh yeah.
Right here in North Texas.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Imagine that.
then I got through that
Well, he explained that
And the four-wheel drive-
second largest ranch
in Texas,
in Texas was we
Right next
went
door.
right up to the gate of it.
Oh.
second largest outside of the King Ranch.
And what's that? I drive my motorcycle all around up there, and they have the
4.6.
same initials everywhere.
I don't know.
G something?
DLU.
No,
Dudes like
I
us.
don't think that would be awesome if we owned all these ranches.
What could happen?
Not yet. I think we need a couple more listeners, but yeah. There's ton, and it has the same lettering, same paint, all over the
No,
place
it's the
up
second.
there.
It's like thousands of acres. So
Yeah.
you're probably right.
Yeah, no.
But there was one another section that was a little sketch driving. And when we got up to the top right there by the lake, where the road was kind of on top of
So what they
angled
did
thing,
is
on the top of a dam almost. But
they
if
they
I missed it,
pushed the earth and they created a lift of dirt. And
Right.
it had been there for probably 10 years. And that's what Jeff drove on. So basically, they had a bulldozer that was pushing a bunch of shit in, and it created a large area.
it's about
And,
20 feet. How you think?
It was yeah,
It was pretty
I'd say
high.
that. And it was wide too. So Jeff was able to get
you
his
had to
truck
drive
on
up
there.
it.
Well,
Well, I drove up it, and it was about as wide as my truck. So if I wasn't
paying attention.
If I wasn't paying attention, like I had a 1845 distillery and a bunch of wine and beer and stuff.
I was going to say you did that.
Yeah, but if I would have, I would have slid down. We probably would have rolled the truck. So it was a little sketch. Did fine. Turned around, came back, and
But you survived.
it was much easier.
Yeah,
Going
it was
the other way.
fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was
And
good.
note to
Fun,
self, and note to you,
Okay.
and Jeff already knows, we need to be very sensitive when it comes to dinner time.
Dinner time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so we cannot allow Julie to not have something to eat at dinner time.
She becomes ravenous, apparently.
She gets hangry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, just
She-
like you guys do.
and
right?
the
It's like, it's
residual-
time to
Yes.
eat.
even lasted afterwards.
But let me ask you a question. So I've always wondered. So is it like a routine thing? Like Friday nights, you and Julie like make dinner and you sit down together and eat?
Part of it.
I mean, there's not routines are routines.
Part
I mean,
of that,
I
and
get
part of it is when she gets hungry, she needs to eat.
So do you normally cook?
Either that, or we'll get a pizza on a Friday sometimes. Actually, we haven't gotten pizza.
So
in a
does
while.
she like? My point is, she never cooks.
Well, she was waiting for me.
Right. Okay. So it was a routine thing.
Right.
Now, had you been said, hey, if you had said, listen, we're out in the country, we're having a ball, do your own thing.
Yeah, she would have been like, "All right, I'll cook me something."
Okay. So this.
But
is
I
your,
said-
So this is your fault
Partly, yes.
for not telling her.
Right. Well, I said I'll be home at 6:30. When I get home at 7 or 7:15 is the problem.
See, at 6:15, you should have said, we're having a ball.
Well, the problem is, I say,
and we just had.
well, no, I said, hey, we'll be heading out here soon.
Oh.
Then another round is bought, and we're drinking it,
Yeah.
and then it just
We'll see.
does this.
Do what I do, which is this is going to be a binge all night. It's going to be a bender. We're going to turn the corner here soon, honey. I may not see you this weekend.
Yes.
And then you
I
show
may
up.
be nude next time you see me.
And then you show up 10 till 7, and she's like, I was so angry, but you're here in front of me. You didn't do all those things. I said, honey, baby.
But I'm still naked.
No,
Yeah, I'm still
no. The
nude.
first thing I did was I have one of those tear off things.
But I'm covered in urine.
What'd you do?
Whose
What?
urine?
Huh?
Whose urine was it?
Well, did you see those cows and how much they were releasing?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
That
cow
was
urine.
amazing.
So when
Yeah.
you saw them peeing, you jumped out of the truck and started rolling
Well,
around.
Sean
in it?
was
basking in
like,
it.
Sean was peeing out there, and he's like,
I did
that
pee
cow's
out there.
trying to outdo
Did you
me.
really? You peed out?
And the cow did. He was peeing at the same time. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's-
holy shit. But when that cow peed,
like on you?
No.
He was.
Oh.
No, he
Were
was.
you on the cow?
I was nowhere near the cow.
You peed on the cow while the
It
cow
was
was peeing.
bucking.
This
and he was
cow
just peeing, it was like
had
flying
That's what I'm
released
everywhere.
saying.
an incredible
Yes.
volume of urine.
Yeah.
It was just like an unleashing. So,
They have big
normal,
bladders.
you have 21.4 seconds, I think, is the average urination of animals. And that
What?
cow released.
Where are you pulling this shit? There's no way you could know what the average urination
All right.
period is.
Producer, pull that up. Average
Yeah,
urination.
I'm going to fact check this.
Average urination.
For what, for humans? For
Average
animals?
urination time.
No, just average urination period. Hit it right there. Bam.
Oh, God.
You pee 6 to 7.
No. Just
No, wait,
seconds.
hold on. Yeah, let's roll with this. How long is it?
No, well, hold on. No, just
Mm-hmm.
just how many seconds? Average urination time seconds in
How
seconds.
long?
Time. Or duration.
Duration of, I cannot believe we're looking this up.
20 seconds.
From house cats to elephants, most mammals take about
Uh,
20 seconds to urinate.
Okay,
That goes for humans
okay.
as well.
Look down there, people. What the 21-second rule? There we go. That 20 seconds is not accurate. That's for house cats and elephants.
No, it says from house cats to elephants, most mammals. You're actually right, by the way. I mean, I'll give it to you.
It feels like I do more than a 1 cup sometimes when I pee. I'm
One-
thinking it's a good half gallon
One
sometimes.
cup? Let me
1
think.
cup doesn't seem like much.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
No. There's sometimes I'm just like, damn, that's at least a
I
half
think
a
we
gallon.
need to challenge ourselves. I think we need to hold it as long as we possibly can to where we're really, really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then pee.
Does that
then we'll text each
contribute
other.
to issues with your prostate?
Uh,
I don't see how.
Well,
but
No,
the prostate
that-
affects the
how-
sensation of having to pee.
well, and it also affects how
The
quickly
flow.
it comes out.
I thought if you hold your pee, it does something bad.
Oh, in
It
general?
hurts your kidneys and your bladder.
Yeah, I thought if you hold your pee, something bad happens to you. I thought it like instigates some sort of issue with your prostate.
Let's start
know.
a new TikTok challenge. You know all those TikTok challenges where people die and do stupid shit? This one won't kill you. we will hold our pee as long as we can and see who can get the most volume.
Yeah,
Dude, I am the master of that.
Oh, really?
And I won't say the master, but I will tell you I have challenged the system because of the times that I have to drive, and the goal is to get back to the house without peeing. Remember that time I told you?
But have you ever measured it?
Oh, volume-wise, no.
Yeah, we need what was it, Pyrex? What are those big glass, with the handle? Like measuring.
like a Kool-Aid container,
No,
Like a chemistry
like a beaker,
No, I was just thinking the regular
cylinder, graduated cylinder.
graduated cylinder.
the regular glass, cup thing.
A measuring cup?
Yeah, like a measuring cup. A Pyrex.
Oh, Pyrex.
Oh, is it Pyrex?
Pyrex.
How do you know?
Because I got them downstairs.
I'm gonna fact check that too. How do you pronounce Pyrex?
It's Pyrex.
It's Pyrexia.
It's Pyrex.
Right now, I'm so bitter at you guys for doing all these things without me that I'm going to challenge everything you say for the rest of this podcast.
Well, you even went out and said,
Pyrex.
my wife was calling, was Paul really mad at you?
Oh, of course I was.
and then everyone agreed to do this thing, okay? It wasn't just me.
It was.
Jeff, Chuck, Scott,
nobody even
and myself, but I'm the only one not invited to Colorado.
I said everyone's welcome except for Sean.
Yeah,
No one even said anything.
I was the one
he was
that was
complaining. He's
sending pictures.
Was he good?
yes.
I was sending
as long as it
pictures,
stung. I just
trying
wanted
to include you in our experience, and here you are taking it all negative, Mr. Butthurt.
Okay,
It's like,
first off-
instead of feeling good for us that we're enjoying it, you're enjoying life, we're enjoying life, and instead of being happy for us, you're all bitter, like, oh, you guys
So-
should have waited for me, Mr. Selfish.
Meanwhile, back in the Hall of Justice, I'm sitting on a deck with absolutely nothing to do. And I have the fastest internet I've ever seen in my life because I did Starlink, Elon Musk, whatever. And so
walk us through that whole program.
No, and I'm
No,
my-
talk-
my-
what-
my- my-
so Starlink, start from the beginning.
Well, you did three girls in a
needed
cup,
service.
you said, right?
Do what?
3 girls in a cup?
Ooh, that's 2 girls in a cup.
Well, yeah, but
Two chicks, one cup.
He said 3.
Oh,
Help me here. What are we
Okay.
talking about?
So you wanted the Starlink, and
Yes.
walk me through the process of how you get. So you find out what it is because I was like, hey man, you should get Starlink from Elon.
Okay, so we have HughesNet up at this cabin, right? 'Cause
A
you have no
HughesNet.
other internet options, and HughesNet sucks.
Right.
It's slow, and you have very limited data. And if you have like family members that come up that stream shit, it's like you wake up in the morning and it says, your data's all gone. You're gonna have to buy another token. We literally spent $200 in tokens when we stayed there for a week.
Well, HughesNet knows this. There is
Right.
no other option. We can do what we want.
Exactly. Well, there is another option now. Elon Musk came along and launched 1 billion low orbit satellites, and Starlink is fast as shit, man. And it's super easy to set up. And boom, now suddenly all of our internet concerns went away. Bandwidth, speed, you name it. And I can turn it off. You have to do it in 1 month increments.
So
I'm
stop.
gonna turn it off
Before
for 1
before
month.
you get into that,
Yeah.
let's talk about the apparatus, the hardware that you have to do this.
It's like a
Okay.
dish, satellite dish, isn't
Yep.
it?
So it is it's a little tripod looking thing with this is square. It's weird. It's a white square dish, and you just, for one thing, I didn't do a permanent setup, right? Because I want to bring it in. So
Right.
I just put it on the deck where there was an open view of the sky, and ran the cord through the window. Took propped open the screen, and plugged it into the router inside the house, and boop 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 boop, and the thing goes. I was like, damn.
Oh, it moves on its own.
That's tight, man. It was so cool. We were sitting on the deck, and it was like searching for obstructions, right? It was measuring the sky and stuff, but we didn't know what it was going to do. So we're just sitting out there talking. All of a sudden, and we're like, it was like a creepy robot movie
Right.
type.
Right.
Anyway, pretty cool, man. Fast as shit.
Fast as shit. So now you've got the hardware set up. Now you got the speed, the internet.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the service itself, you mentioned it's like $200 a month.
No, so there's different packages. If you live up there full time, you can do a package where it's $120 a month, and it's like meant to be on all the time, permanent outside, whatever. But if you're like an RV person, or like you go up to a cabin like once 1 month a year or 1 week a year,
Right.
you do the mobile package, which is $150 a month, but you can turn it off. You can pause it.
So you pay for a month, you use it for the week you're there, and you just pay $150.
That's
you're
it.
done.
That's it.
So you're not paying $150 every month
No.
when it's not being used. That's good.
And what you would probably want to do is like, if you have like in my situation, I'll be there the first week. My brother will come up the second week. I mean, we did that before because we were caring for my mom and we needed to like rotate everybody. Somebody needed to be there with them. But we could swing it so that, hey man, I'm gonna turn it on this month. So if you guys want free internet or help me pay for the $150, whatever. I mean, you could do that too. But anyway, it's a nice option. So, and then they have a third package, which is mobility. So you literally can be moving on a boat, moving in an RV. And it will work. I don't know how it works. But in my situation, it has to be stable, like, not moving.
Right.
But you can still pause it. Anyway.
Well, that's good.
So I had 3 different packages. Very impressive.
Well, I told you earlier
Very easy. Very easy.
I was hesitant to go up there and work just because HughesNet was so sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to be up there 12 hours away and go, oh, fuck, now what?
Well, and that happened. So my brother and his wife were up there, and they were like, oh, this isn't working. And they had to drive down to some place, like where the community center was, and they parked and kind of, tied into their internet.
Right.
But still sketchy, right? I mean,
right.
if you're going to work up there, you can't have a conference call and suddenly,
right.
So anyway, it's a very nice option. So anyway, why are we talking about the Starlink? Oh, because I was telling you, I was bored as hell, man. I'm sitting on the deck getting all these pictures and going, I'm going to have some fun with this. Texting, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and he said a picture which was actually had a nice backdrop, and Jeff called it totally weak. I didn't share that.
Oh yeah, I was having Modelo on the deck.
Yeah, I didn't share that. But do you have any bourbon out there?
I brought some Henry McKenna with me. I don't have any now, but I'll take
was
some
it
up
10-year or the regular?
No, it was a regular.
Well, you saw that Bud Light is lost again.
What did it lose?
2 months in a row.
In terms of the number one selling beer in the United States?
Yeah, they lost by a lot, actually.
To Modelo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard the numbers are creeping up into the 30s now of
they're not getting
year
those
over
folks
year.
back. Yeah, they're not going to get those folks back.
No, it's done. I mean, now they're laying off people at the contractor
And
that
did you
builds
see
the
the
bottles.
They're doing more
CEO
than that. It's the factories, the bottle manufacturing plants are kind of like laying. Is that what you're talking about? Laying off those people?
Awful, right? It's one thing to boycott a beer because they've made a mistake and stuff, but now it's impacting people's jobs.
Oh.
And because they have not come out and fucking done the right thing, which is apologize.
I think that CEO I think the CEO and the executive folks need to leave.
Yep, they need to
get
cut 'em.
canned. And the CEO here the last couple of days has said, he goes, you're impacting 60,000 people or whatever it is.
Fuck you. You're the one that impacted 60,000 people.
And he
you
says,
dumbass.
don't take it out on them. Take it out on me.
Okay, then fucking resign.
It's my fault. And I'm just thinking, well, how can the average consumer take it out on you?
Okay.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
If he was a courageous guy, he'd go, the buck stops with me. I screwed up. I'm allowed, I may not have been aware. Don't even say that. Take accountability, right? Whatever happened was on my watch.
And he has said that.
And he needs to say, don't take it out on the hardworking Bud Light people who care about America and they are, red, white, and they bleed red, white, and blue. I'm going to step down, and I want you to please come back to Bud Light.
Well, he
that
said
would
that.
make a difference.
Well, he said that, except he's not stepping down.
Yeah, well, step down.
He's not taking accountability.
No, he's not, and people know it.
Yep.
And then they keep doing these bullshit, patriotic, over the top things, and people are like,
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
They need to first of all, cut his hair off, take all his clothes off, and let him walk through the street and with the big person behind him.
You want him to go game
shame.
They can throw some poop at him.
Columbus.
Kalima!
Rip his heart out.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that last one. I thought we switched to Indiana Jones.
We did. So, you know what? Fuck them. I don't really. I mean, I feel bad for the people who lost their jobs, but you know what? It's just like anything else, man. You work for a company.
Yep.
There are repercussions for
if the leadership
stupid moves.
If the leadership makes a bad decision, people suffer.
Yeah.
I know my company does. If they make a bad decision, we lose money. I have to do layoffs. I could be impacted.
I mean, Biden's making
layoffs.
Biden's making tons of mistakes right
Just
now,
like
and we're
Bud Light.
paying the toll.
Yep. And so think about this. All right. So they don't want to say anything right now because they don't want to alienate the trans community. Blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, okay, at this point, the numbers are real.
Right.
The losses are real. Your market share is real. The loss in the stock price is real. You need to
take a side at this point.
Make a decision.
You want this
the
small
3%.
You want
the 3%
point three.
transsexual.
0.3.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Not even.
they need to say, yeah, we should not have partnered with that person. And yes, you're going to be upset with us, but we weren't being true to our real customers. And this is a decision we're going to cut all ties with that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what they have to. They have to do that. And then the trans community will go fucking ballistic.
Oh, it'll sound like
they already have.
They'll sound like they'll be the vast majority because they're going to be so loud.
Oh, they're going to be super
That's
loud.
why people.
It's going to be all over the social media. And Dylan Mulvaney was already like, I can't believe they didn't stick with me.
Me. Yes.
I mean, really?
Well, that's what it is. They're so
Get back
loud.
in your tub and go drink a Miller Lite or something.
That group is so
what's his name?
loud.
Dylan Mulvaney?
Dylan
Mulvaney.
They're so loud that they seem like they're a big group.
But they're not.
They're not.
But I'm disturbed by the campaign that Dylan Mulvaney was pushing, and I'm disturbed.
What, life
about,
as a girl?
Well, like the little 6-year-old girl frolicking, or the
he did
6-year-old
that
girl
too.
dancing around in the hotel room, thinking life is grand, and
Right.
I know.
I'm gonna make it. Just come on. I mean, it's over the top.
You sounded just like him.
I did, and there was also
Did you practice that?
the gay pride parades that they were doing. We're gay. We're here to stay. We're coming after your children. Did you hear that chant?
Yes,
Oh,
we're
yes.
coming after your children. But they're just doing it to make the news and
Well,
to aggravate.
But it's
right?
it's consistent. So
I think aggravate is a big part of it.
Yeah.
they're just trying to.
They're pushing the buttons.
Absolutely, they want people to freak out about them.
Right.
They're taking it. They're taking it to them. That's what the trans.
Well, they're going to
community-
lose
They are gonna
systematically. I mean, because look, eventually, I mean, and here's where you've got that little bar graph that shows up. You've got the left that wants to control things to make it so that you don't have a leg to stand on to fight them,
Right.
and then you have the option to make your own decisions in life.
Right.
And the left wants to slowly but surely defeat your decisions to do shit in life. And I think that's kind of hand in hand with what's going on.
You know what's sad though? There are gay and lesbian and trans, all those letters, people that are going, why are we doing this? Like, why are you
Yes.
guys acting like that in that parade? Why is that appropriate in front of kids? I mean, they're a rational thinker.
Look, there
right?
are.
And guess what? We don't care. Like, we've talked about
don't.
this. We don't care. However you want to live your life, whatever kind of partner you want to have, that's great. I mean, and when I find it so refreshing when I see somebody on Fox News who's a gay man or whatever, and they're like going, yeah, I'm part of this, and I'm not on board with what they're doing.
Right.
And we're like, well, thank you, because
Right.
it isn't your sexual presentation or orientation or whatever preference. We don't care. But we just don't want that happening, and we like that you agree with that.
Yeah.
Because we're not crazy. We're not hateful. The
No.
word is we're not hateful.
But we have friends that are gay.
yeah,
That
I do.
That
I got plenty.
Well, first of all, we have a lot of friends that are gay. There are gay people that, and I'm going to call them cool, and it's not because they think like me or anything like that. It's just because they're
cool people.
tame.
Yeah.
They're tame. They live within the system.
Yep.
And then you have these other type that like to push their, I don't even want to say it's an agenda, because it's not. It's just like they're gay, and so they want to be more flamboyant.
Yeah, it's
and
an overtness.
they have a tendency to take sexuality, and just because they're gay, they feel that they have the authority
To make it uncomfortable.
to do things that straight guys can't do.
Right.
Like I don't have the authority to go over to your wife and grope her, but
No.
gay guys do. I mean, some gay guys do.
Right.
And I'm just like, why do you get to do that?
yeah, why is that okay?
I disagree with that 1,000%, and I've told that with some of the gay guys that I've hung out with in the past. And look, I've had roommates that were gay, and with their boyfriends, and one of their gay sisters, or that didn't turn out to be gay. She was gay, but she wasn't gay, but then she went gay. But that doesn't matter. They were. My point is, he and I used to go round and round. I was just like, dude, just be gay. I mean, who gives a fuck? You don't have to go around and sexualize things.
Right.
Just be gay, have a relationship, and be normal. I mean, your normal.
But you know
isn't
what's
being-
interesting? You'll meet gay couples where one is flamboyant like two guys. One is totally flamboyant, in your face, obnoxious, and the other one's like, you would never know. He was just like us.
There's a difference
So what
between
is
being
that?
flamboyant and just outright obnoxious.
Yes, I totally agree.
And that is my point. Is that
And there's boundaries for everyone.
well, that's just it.
Boundaries for everyone.
I don't
Doesn't matter what your
understand.
sexual orientation is.
I don't understand why the certain folks can't figure out what those boundaries are.
Right.
You know, if I have boundaries, Jeff has boundaries. We all have boundaries, and we're learning them all the time.
And when I say boundaries, I'm saying like you just said, the example of interacting with other people, right? There's no reason why they...
well, your actions.
But also parades. There are boundaries in parades.
Well, I think a good example is that
But your ding dong hit little girls in parades. I think that's wrong.
I think it is wrong.
it hit someone.
Well, I mean, they were like
The
4
guy
feet.
the guy was helicoptering?
Oh, well, I think a perfect example is this guy, tranny, who was at the White House.
Right.
Felt he needed to take his shirt off.
Go topless.
Yeah.
Boundaries. I mean, there are just social norm
Well,
boundaries.
especially at the White House. You know we were
Oh,
at.
my God. I mean,
Why
that's
would I
like-
go? How about the White House?
I'm going to treat that that with utmost respect.
Yes.
Totally not.
And they missed the mark on it.
Missed it.
Yeah.
Totally.
I
Anyway.
think all of it's missing the mark, and this Dudes Like Us show isn't supposed to project that we are disagreeing with gay people, because we don't. We don't give a shit. We love gay people.
No, we can
Lots of gay
disagree.
people love us.
What
It's just,
I don't want to project is that we're hateful.
Oh no, not at all.
We do not hate gay people. We don't hate anybody, right? I mean, we might. I know we're cutting up and we make cliche jokes and shit like that. But at the end of the day, we do not hate anybody. But we don't agree with behavior.
Yeah, and it's
Right?
the behavior. It's
Am I right
behavior
on that?
that's appropriate.
so.
It's inappropriate, and I think that's
For
that's
anybody.
really what
For anybody.
there's not a set of rules. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean I get my own rules.
Right.
Like, you know what? Oh, I'm gay. I get to go into the women's bathroom. I'm gay. I get to take my pants off and show my dick to little kids. I'm gay. I get to do this and that. When did that become good? Like a positive thing?
We would not allow that for any heterosexual man.
Well, I think that's a small. We talk about that's a small subset
Right.
of the gay community. That's a small
I
subset.
would agree with that.
I don't. Well,
I
I'm
would
not
agree with that
disagreeing,
too.
but I will tell you
But the most
that
vocal and the most visible and the most
Which
they're,
makes
they're
them-
loud and vocal. But
Yeah.
again, the gay community is small. Then you have this even smaller subset who is into this shit.
right.
they fuck it up for everybody.
And it's
They
the mob.
do.
It's
And you-
no
and-
different than the woke mob.
And they're starting to get pushback. The gay community is starting to push back, going, "Wait a minute, we spent all of these years to build acceptance for the lesbians, gays, the bis, right?
Credibility, respectability.
And
all
this
that
T
stuff.
over here is ruining things.
Yeah.
for
They're making people go, yeah, we're not on for that.
correct. And it's when they pull in the kids is where they cross the lines.
I agree. I know.
So, and that's a relatively new thing over the last few years.
and I don't get it.
And I don't know why they went that way. And it kind of goes into the discussion we had earlier about what the hell the movie that we just talked about, Sound of Freedom?
Yeah.
The whole sex trafficking of kids. There's a lot of people out there who are into that shit. That is just, I find that unfathomable.
And I don't care who you are, you should be against it.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It shouldn't be a person on the planet who isn't against that.
I think they're good. I think that's the next step to try to normalize.
Yeah, minor attracted.
Correct.
Yeah, that minor attracted thing was kind of crazy. I mean, in
kinda
the
crazy.
early 70s, late 70s, minor attraction was back then. It was gay people. Just the
Right.
fact that they were gay, that was the tone back then, or that was the diagnostic statistics personality disorder.
Yeah.
Now it's the minor attractive as a disorder. They're just trying to normalize it, just like you said. It's just insane, man.
All right, so we talked about Smoke Wagon. We did
Yep.
not talk about, and I know we don't have time now, but
Sonos.
Trail.
The Texas Trail?
Five Trail?
The 5 Trail, yeah, the Coors Light.
The Coors Light one. So that was Coors. That was the bourbon we had in the previous podcast that we forgot to get to. Anyway, so we'll have to touch on that at a future time.
I think so. We'll have it again.
Well, dudes, I guess it's 7-Eleven. Enjoy those Slurpees while you can. You got another hour. Slobbing up. Dudes like us, thank you for the producer, Mr. Austin. Dudes like us, I'm Sean.
Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Good night, everybody.